Yeah, good boy, Bob.
I tell you what, there's nothing quite like a plate of your favourite grub. Our favourite tucker feeds our bodies and souls.
Well, thank you.
That's okay.
So, in this series, I'm celebrating the dishes closest to all our hearts.
Lovely.
I've spoken to some fellow chefs to ask them what dishes they love the most.
Look at that beauty.
It smells delicious.
Trust me, you've got to try it.
I've had a few famous faces round to cook their favourite food for me.
She's in the house.
Hot and spicy here, babe.
Like a bit of spice.
So do I.
Can't concentrate, Ainsley.
And I've been doing some culinary reminiscing of my own, cooking up some of the most treasured recipes I've collected over the years.
Do you like your brownies gooey? Yes, yes, I do.
The result is a collection of wonderful recipes from around the world that I know are going to inspire you to get into your own kitchens, to cook up and spruce up some of your old favourites.
Welcome to the food we love. The warm sunshine, the sandy beaches, the balmy alfresco evenings. Today, I'm going to be showing you dishes that will get you in the mood for your holidays. Now, where's that sangria? TV legend and one of my favourite girls ever, Alison Hammond, will be in my kitchen cooking me a feast fit for a king, lamb and couscous.
A little bit of paprika, put that in. In fact, I'll put it all in. Get it in. Get it all in.
You get a job in my kitchen any time.
You want it to taste good.
Aldo Gilli will be sharing his take on an old Italian classic, crispy parsley and chili calamari.
Whoa! Look at that.
The Bosch boys will be helping us escape to Mexico, indulging us with their street food tacos.
These are king oyster mushrooms.
They're the perfect replacement for meat.
They really are.
And I've got a wonderful dessert to round things off, tiramisu. But first, I want to capture that Mediterranean holiday feeling with my spicy seafood linguine and cherry tomatoes. Oh, just imagine sitting down there having a glass of wine with it, can't you? Eh? Well, it'd be a shame not to. Ooh, cheers. Oh, that's lovely. Now, what you need, actually, for this is to start off with some nice shellfish. And what I have here is clams and mussels. Now, there's a general rule that if you see one of these mussels, hey, look, I've got one opened here. Now, if you tap it, look at this, it closes right up. If it doesn't close up and it remains open, discard it, get rid of it. I've been through these before, and I want to put them into a hot pan, OK? So, literally, get your pan on, put that straight onto the stove. We can slide those in, and then we can add a splash of white wine. That's it. Good glass of white wine going into that. All right. Pop the lid on top, and once you put that lid on, just leave them there for a minute or so. When they open up, we'll drain them in our colander. Whilst that's happening, I'm going to take our garlic, our anchovies and our chilli, and I'm just going to chop that up, all right? There you go, little slithers there. Absolutely lovely. Along, let's split our chilli in half. There you go. And I'm going to get a little spoon. Oh, look at that boiling up, look. I told you, look at that. It doesn't take long. And get that camera in there. Have a look at that, guys. Can you see that? That's open right up there. Look at that. Mediterranean, wonderfully aromatic, wonderfully British, actually, because I bought these down the road. Here you go. Now, I was in the middle of showing you about my chilies, how to get those seeds out. Spoon, all right, there it is. And just get that, and just give that a little bit of a push. And look at that, all of that comes out there. Can you see that? Turn it round, do exactly the same the other way. All right, there. Pull all those seeds out. Let's get rid of that garlic. How about that? I'll chop up those chilies. Now, you can control the amount of chili that you put in there, but this dish is about keeping it spicy. It's got that lovely chili influence going through it. OK, then we're going to chop up our anchovies. People often think of the anchovy as a sort of dominating influence in food because of its saltiness, but really, when it is softly cooked down, as you'll see in the pan, it just enhances the dish, OK? All right, here we are. We have our pan here. I'm going to move it over to this stove. That's it, we'll kill that one. I'm going to add a little glug of oil, olive oil, very much a way of cooking in that Mediterranean style. All of that goes into my warm pan. You can hear it sizzling almost instantly. All right, with the garlic. And just move that around. Just melt that down a little bit. You can see that sizzling for a matter of seconds, and then we can start to add our fish. I've got my prawns there, straight in. Oh, look at these tiger boys. Look at those. Aren't they lovely? These are already cooked, all right? They're not raw, so I'm just going to pop those in the last minute. I just want to heat those through. What I don't want to do is put them in now, leave them in too long, and toughen it up so it's not such a pleasurable bite when you bite into it. You want succulence when you eat fish, all right? All in there. Now, I'm going to take my pasta and pop that in. This is a 4-minute pasta, so I'm just going to pop that into my salted boiling water. All right, which indicates that everything's going to come together quite quickly. Now, got some cherry tomatoes here. A lovely tip for cherry tomatoes, I think, is if you're pulling them off the stem like that and having them just there, holding them and allowing your knife to run through, OK? That means you don't have to cut them individually, but look at that, you can cut them straight in half. Beautiful. Let's take those and put them into our pan, back on that high heat. There we are. Get that pasta boiling away there. Prawns are smelling magnificent. And one of the reasons I put that into a colander is I want to use some of that cooking liqueur. Oh, it really has got so much flavour in there. We're going to take some of that, drizzle that into our pan. Look at that, that's going to cook down beautifully. Oh, magnificent. In with our langoustine, there you go. We're going to warm those through. Oh, look at those. In with the picked mussels and clams. Oh yeah. I'm nearly there. That pasta. I've only got the one colander, you see, so I've got to use this in the sink for me pasta. There you go. What I love to do is when my pasta comes out of the water like that, is just to hit it with a little bit, because you can get a little bit sort of cloggy. So I hit that with just a little bit of the olive oil. Lots of lovely flavour in there. All right, this is looking amazing and smelling fantastic too. Really does remind me of holidays. All right, that's lovely. Look at that. Wow. Now, taking a few of these big boys out. They've heated through now. And then we can get our pasta in there. Look at that. Lots of lovely heat penetrating those. Perfect. The remainder of the mussels, they go in your pan too. In with our pasta. Let's finish up here. Bit of lemon zest. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, lovely. You've still got that wonderful juices that have come from the mussels and the clams. Just a little bit more of that in there like that. Always keep that, just don't throw that away, OK? Very, very important. Hit that, let's season that up now. That's OK. Touch of salt and pepper. Fabulous. And finally, a little bit of the old parsley. That's it, roughly chopped, all right? I don't want that finely chopped. You really want to keep it as rustic as possible. All right, guys, and then we can transfer that to our dish. Look at this. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's just absolutely yum, yum. Turn that off. I'll put a few of these on first. Let's just cascade one or two of those over the edge like that.
This feels like you're really on holiday, doesn't it, eh? There you go.
Pop those bits of lemon wedges in there. And there you have it. Oh, look at that. Something to titillate your Mediterranean taste buds. My spicy seafood linguine with cherry tomatoes. Wow. A little later, we'll be joined by the legendary Aldo Zilli, who'll be taking us back to Italy to show us his garlic chili calamari. Can't wait for that. But for now, hey, talk about some chili. She's in the house. It's the wonderful Alison Hammond.
Whoop, whoop. Hot and spicy here, babes.
No, darling. The spicier, the better. Lovely to see you.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. So what's your favourite type of holiday?
I like the sort of holiday where you really get into the culture. I'm not a beach person. I'm more of a pool person. But I want to meet the people of that environment. So if I go to Florida, I want to meet someone from Florida. If I go to Tunisia, I want to meet the Tunisians. So I'm going to make a Tunisian couscous. I love couscous, number one, but I love Tunisia. It's one of my favourite places to go. What's weird is I went to Tunisia on holiday, me and my friend. We were just there on holiday, having a really good time. And the entertainer in the hotel had left. So the next thing I know, Ainsley, I'm on the stage on my holidays, entertaining the kids, doing mini disco. I'm there going, I am the music man. I come from down your way and I can play. And the kids literally like loved it. And then the manager came up to me and was like, do you want a job? I was like, all right then, I didn't have a job at the time.
You never know what's around the corner, do you?
I never knew by going on that holiday I was going to actually end up in a kind of career, really. Absolutely loved it. Let me quickly just tell you what I'm doing here. So far I've got my onions in there, some caraway.
Okay.
I've added some harissa, because harissa is a real good spice.
Beautiful, absolutely
nice
beautiful.
and hot. And I've just put 2 pegs of garlic in there. I've crushed it. Let's get that in. And then I'm going to add some paprika. So I'm just getting all those
lovely
spices in. Just a little bit of paprika. Put that in. In fact, I'll put it all in. Get it in. Get it all in.
You get a job in my kitchen any time.
You want it to taste good.
Now, what meat are we actually using here, Alison?
So we're going to go for we've got a lovely cut of lamb, prime lamb, and this is going to give your couscous the flavour. I just literally pour the lamb into there, and I'm going to mix those spices into the lamb.
Give everything a good stir.
Give it a mix, and look at that red colour, isn't it just beautiful? That is going to stain the lamb. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait for this to like sear up a little bit, and then at the end I'm just going to add all the vegetables and lay them on top.
And what vegetables are we talking about? Tell us what we've got here.
So we've gone for some turnips. These are in season at the moment. Just some potatoes, carrots long ways. I love how carrots take on the seasoning. Put those in there, it's just going to take on the flavours.
Secret is not cutting them too small, really, isn't it?
Not too small, just nice little chunks like that.
Yeah, so you get the juiciness coming through.
Yeah, and we're just going to add it on. What holidays do you like, Ainsley? Where's your favourite place to go?
I really am more of a sun worshipper, you know, in terms of just kind of feeling warm and not having to put on too many clothes, you know. Not quite a thong, but you know what I mean.
I do like the shade, though. I like a bit of shade wherever I'm going. So I'm just adding these vegetables now.
I can see that. Beautiful.
I'm just literally laying them on top of the meat so they're still cooking in. Like that. It's so, so simple. This is one of those it's actually a really healthy dish.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm just going to add a little bit of water now on top. Just to cover things up. I love that little sizzle. And then this water is literally going to cook everything down.
Beautiful.
Like that. Look at that. That looks brilliant.
Looking lovely, and it's smelling fantastic.
So I've got some peppers here. I'm going to fry those off in a little bit of oil. A little trick, which I noticed this happened in Tunisia. What they used to do is just put a little hole in the top like this and just put a little bit of salt in. And for some reason, it makes the peppers a little bit sweeter. So these are going to go on top of my couscous, and I also add a
sure you
fried egg.
weren't sprinkling sugar in there, not salt?
No, honestly. A little bit of salt. It's the weirdest thing. It makes your peppers really, really sweet.
Beautiful.
Now I'm going to add some. What do you call this?
Was that
I
squash?
forgot that word.
What do you got there?
Is it
Marrow?
I can't remember what this is.
Marrow.
What is this?
Marrow.
I just bang it in anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
It's
definitely
great
marrow.
And some chickpeas.
Yeah.
Lid on top, which
There's
is
a
there.
lid over there, yeah. Oh, wow, what's this?
Oh, this is just for the end. I like to add a little egg. Little fried egg.
That's really interesting. I've never heard of that,
It's all about the
fried egg.
presentation, babe. It's all about the presentation. Yeah. So, as you can see, I've got some couscous here, Ainsley. This is already cooked couscous. I'm just going to season it up. That's a really important thing. Bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And then I'm just going to fork that through like that.
Okay.
Let's just swap these over.
Okay.
Let's
You
get
put that
this-
down there and
yeah.
I'll take that away for you.
Oh, God, it's too hot. I'll put it over here.
Okay, yeah, put it at the end there.
I'm just like chaos in the kitchen, aren't I?
No, you're perfectly fine. Honestly, what you've done there is lovely. You've got your message across and just lovely sharing your holiday memories with us too.
Well, I just love going on holiday. I love going on holiday. Holidays are the best thing ever. Can you see what I'm doing here? This is going to flavour your couscous.
Yeah.
It really is. And couscous, as you know, just absorbs like the liquid.
Yeah.
We're putting all the liquid on. And it's also going to colour it. And just like literally feed that sauce through like so.
That's very traditional. That's very North African,
Oh
isn't
gosh,
it?
this is like
They
the
just
main thing
literally
that they
take
do.
it and they soak it into the couscous. Really lovely.
Put a bit of meat in. And they don't have very much meat, to be fair. I did notice that. A little bit, just a tiny bit of meat. Lots of lovely vegetables. And as you can see, look at that. It just looks beautiful. Get some of those carrots
Fabulous. And you're going to garnish it with the egg and the pepper for us?
Yeah. So that's the big thing. Who gets the egg and who gets the peppers?
And
It's not very many.
who did get the egg then?
Well, they always give the visitor the egg.
Yeah.
Anyone who comes gets the egg. Look at that. Finish off. Salt and pepper. Voila.
Fabulous.
Alison's Tunisian couscous. Look at that.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Woo! That looks beautiful.
Whoa, Alison, look at this. What are we like?
I know.
Eh?
You've got the egg there as well.
I got the egg, and even though you're a guest in my house, obviously you cooked for me, so
Yeah.
I'm your guest. Let's get
I'm a
stuck
bit nervous. You trying my food?
in. You shouldn't be nervous at all.
Oh, let me have a taste. It's really nice.
And you know what
It
I love
smells
about
great.
this? The smells and everything are just so, as you say, Tunisian, North African.
You're going to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a little taste of that.
Do you love it?
That's lovely. Absolutely delicious. With another mouthful. Oh.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it.
And those spices, they're so comforting,
It's lovely,
aren't
isn't it? For me, it's the caraway that really transports you to Tunisia.
Absolutely, especially when you toast them off in the pan to start with, the onions and everything else. It becomes really aromatic. That's really, really lovely. What a pleasure it is having you here today.
Thanks for having me in your home.
No. Well, thanks for cooking for me.
You're welcome.
And now it's time to go and see my friend Aldo Zilli, who's cooking up a rather delicious crispy parsley chili calamari.
Okay, so everyone has a memory of squid. My memory of squid is sitting by the pool, on holiday, on the beach, deep-fried squid, grazing. It's a takeaway, it's a street food, it's a great restaurant starter. Today, we're gonna make fried squid my way. So you would need some fresh squid, but if you can't find fresh squid, then you'll have to go for frozen. So peel off the wings, then you go and peel off the skin. Like this, you should end up with a nice white body. The whiter the body, the fresher the squid. Take out that little membrane that's inside here. Look, it's like a little bit of plastic. Look at that, eh? Then clean the inside, push it out, and it should all come out. Now, There's certain different ways of cutting these for frying. We can do rings, or I worked with a Japanese chef once, and he taught me to cut it like this, okay? There's a little obvious place that you're gonna put the knife there, okay? Now, the outside of the squid needs to be on the board. You need a really sharp knife, and you cut the squid just like this, sashimi style, okay? Nice and thin, so that cuts all the nerves of the squid and all the stuff that makes the squid tough. So this is gonna be so tender, okay? Look at that. It's like paper. And then we're gonna place this in milk, okay? You can do that a couple of hours before, and we're going to put that in 2 different flour. I've got 00 flour, and I've got corn flour in here. So we're gonna mix them together. Season the flour, salt, pepper into the flour. Again, a good mix. And now, there's no other way here. You have to get in with your hands. Okay, you put the squid into the flour. Now, you've got to make sure that all the squid are being floured, though. Just like this. And then, a few at a time, you put it into that sieve, and the excess flour, hopefully, will just go underneath. Just get rid of that excess flour. The basket, if you have a fryer, leave the basket in. And when you put the fish in, always put it away from yourself. Okay, so there you go. Now, it's time to fry. 170 the oil. And you don't want to put a big blob of squid into the hot oil a little bit at a time so that you don't cool down the oil and it just flops completely. Look at that. Just give it a little shake. Then halfway through, when the squid are frying, what I like to do is I like to fry some chilies with it. That's gonna spit a little bit. Then, near the end, a little bit of parsley. Whoa! Look at that. Brilliant. And now look at the color of this. It's great. You want to look at food and you want to eat it. The parsley is green, and the chili is red, and the squid is white. I wonder what flag that is. You drain the oil properly, like this, and then I've got a little bit of kitchen paper on there. And do you know what? I think that's it. A simple, that can't get much simpler than this. Dust of salt, and there's my calamari fritti. Ainsley, you've got to do these.
Well, that was sensational, Aldo. Really, really loved that. I can imagine just sitting there in a beach bar, nice chilled glass of white wine, eating that delightful calamari. Whoa, really lovely. But keeping in the Mediterranean theme, I've got something that is very close to that. Of course, we're moving over a little bit into Greece to make the most wonderful, scrumptious, juicy tasting souvlaki with an alternative Greek salad. Yeah, boy. Or as they would say, yassou out in Greece. Now, what you're going to need to do is to marinate your meat, and what I've got here are the perfect Greek ingredients. A bit of salt, pepper, a little bit of paprika, some chili flakes, a touch of cumin, and some oregano, along with a bit of garlic, a little bit of olive oil, and some lemon juice. So let's get the garlic in the bowl first. I'm just going to grate that. You know, I like to grate it. It makes it so much easier. Easy for distribution instead of having to chop it up. OK, garlic going in there, along with the lemon juice. That's it, beautiful. Along with the olive oil. Yeah, OK, and of course, all those lovely spices. I've talked to you about that before. Salt, pepper, chili, cumin, paprika, and oregano. Let's just pop that in there. Just blend that together. And then we're going to take our lovely pork shoulder. There it is. Now, if you've noticed, I've cut that into quite big pieces. I think it really does make such a difference. All of that into our bowl. Now, get your fingers in there. Just give that a good old mix, making sure everything is well coated. And you know what happens next? You leave it. You leave it to marinate. 2 or 3 hours would be sufficient, but overnight makes such a difference. And just look, can you see the difference there? That one in my right hand here, that's the left side of your TV, has taken on all those lovely flavours. And you can see it's slightly darkened the meat. That means it's soaked all that lovely flavour up. Really does make such a difference. Now, what I want you to do is just to skewer that up. Literally, take that. Notice that I'm using, nice and flat. Okay, I'm just pushing that through like that. Perfect. And there's something about, when you're on a Greek island and you're walking along and suddenly you smell it, that charcoal is burning, and as the juices drip down, cascade down, it's a bit like a little fountain of juices that drip down onto the coals, and they release all this lovely smoke, and you smell it, you think, oh, I've got to have one of those. Nice ice cold beer. Oh, absolutely perfect. Fabulous. There you go. Now, all you're doing is taking these and popping these straight onto your char grill. OK, and now what about a salad to accompany that? This is the alternative Greek salad, the marou masalata, I think they refer to it as. Very, very simple to do too. Let me show you. Literally, just taking off the base there, and I'm just slicing that up. I like the idea of cutting that just like that. Can you see that? Iceberg or cos lettuce. I'm just going to pop all of that into our bowl here, followed by some spring onions. That's it. In with the spring onions. And then I've got some lovely herbs here. We're talking parsley, we're talking dill. Just chop those up. A little bit of stalk in there, don't mind that at all. Straight into our salad. On top of that, we've got some dried oregano. And a few, not all the flaked almonds. There's some toasted almonds. I'm just going to sprinkle those in there. And get your fingers and work those through. Now let's dress that up, shall we? And a very, very simple dressing. And to that, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the olive oil, and 1, 2, 3 of the white wine vinegar. You can use lemon juice if you want. Invigorate that. So let's season that up. Touch of pepper. Oops. A little bit of salt. And we're going to take a little bit of that and dress our salad. That's it. Oh, look at me, all over the place. Look at those almond flecks going through there. You can see that. That's it. Now, let's take these. Look at those. They're looking really good, aren't they? Turning those over. Got a few cooked there already, so I think I can dress it up and show you how to finish it off now. Take some of your salad. Just line that up. And when you can see how I'm dropping that, can you see that? Keep it very light. Just allow that to drop gently, all right? Don't push it down, okay? And that's lovely. That's it, beautiful. And then we've got our cooked ones over here. Yeah. I mean, I've got a double portion tonight. And you can see I've just charred those lemons off, which is really nice, okay? So that releases a little bit of the sugars. And when you squeeze that over the top of your pork souvlakis, it will be absolutely ideal. There you go. Let's just pop that there. There we are. A bit of lemon either side of that. And I think you'll agree that looks absolutely lovely. Ooh. Ooh. Ah, there you are. I've got more cooking there, so there's enough for everybody. But for the moment, something to inspire you from the islands of Greece. My souvlaki with an alternative Greek salad. And now for Bosch, who are sharing with us one of their favourite travel recipes, Mexican street food tacos.
Thank you, Ainsley, and welcome to our kitchen.
So today we're going to be making an absolute feast for you. It is tacos, but ours are extra special.
And we're going to make this really cool sort of like red cabbage slaw. So, like, I think the best thing to do with this kind of stuff, you need a sharp knife, but you also need to do it nice and thin. The second thing we need to do is red onion. I've got one more thing that really needs to be chopped. Shall we do it now?
A fiery chilli, absolutely.
Now, these, they are small, but goodness gracious me, they absolutely hold so much heat inside them. So that is the main 3 ingredients that you need to make this wonderful red cabbage slaw.
So, of course, this is sambal inspired. That's inspired by a trip to Indonesia, where we discovered incredible Indonesian food, and they make an incredible, like, fiery red chili sauce called sambal. But here we're going to make a pickle. So that means we need sugar, it means we need a kind of vinegar in which to pickle it, and some acid.
So acid-wise, we've got this. We've got a lime, just half a lime will do. And now I'm going to pop this in, this desiccated coconut. It just gives a really nice kind of authentic flavour. Pop that in. Then we've got some sugar, which will help break everything down and obviously offer a really nice taste. A pinch of salt. So that's everything in there, and in order to make the magic happen, we're going to need this, red wine vinegar. And I'm going to pop a couple of tablespoons. There's one, and here's another. And you just keep turning it around, and the acid from the lime, the sort of acid from the vinegar as well, it's all going to sort of help break it down and make this wonderful, and it will go fantastically well with the rest of those tacos.
Next up, we're going to make the mushroom. This is kind of like a mushroom bacon base for these tacos. These are king oyster mushrooms.
They're the perfect replacement for meat.
They really are. And this, we're going to cut them to about ½ centimetre thick, and they will reduce down a little bit in that pan. I mean, that is a beautiful looking thing.
Yeah, it looks incredible, doesn't it?
Now, our pan is nice and warm, so I'm going to add a little bit of dairy-free butter, because we like to do everything dairy-free. Now, these mushrooms, these little beauties, are going to go down in the pan. Now, these aren't going to take long to cook. Now, what we want to do is we want to add a touch of fajita spice. So I'm just going to pop a little sprinkling over the top, not too much. This is a really cheap, lazy way to flavour things.
I'll get this lettuce on the go now, because when you're making tacos, I suppose, like, it's really nice to have a little bit of freshness, a little bit of crispiness, and that just comes perfectly from an iceberg lettuce.
Time to flip these mushrooms. The perfect time to do this is when they are starting to look golden brown. And ideally, you've got these kind of little crispy, almost bacony edges. Now, they're looking great. I'm going to make a quick chipotle mayo next. It's going to go with the spiciness of your cabbage and also with these beautiful mushrooms. So we've got a plant-based mayo here. Into that, I'm going to add just a teaspoon of chipotle paste. This stuff is fiery, so be careful not to overdo it. To go with this will be just a squeeze of lime juice. You can roll it if you need to get more juice out, but this was actually feeling very juicy. And then add just a touch of salt.
Yeah, so good.
Time to build our tacos.
Oh, man, this is what I've been waiting for. Tacos are my favourite food.
Absolutely. So first up, we're going to warm our tacos. Pop them into a dry, hot pan for about a minute or so each side. These tacos are ready. After you, mate.
Thank you very much. A little bit of salad on there as well. And then, the main event, eh? Some of these mushies. Just a couple will do, lovely. Oh, mate, look at that. Come on.
Don't forget the chipotle mayo.
Thank you very much. And that, I reckon, is looking like a very, very, very nice thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. Right, shall we dig in?
Let's dig in.
Right, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Good work.
Down the hatch.
That's so meaty.
Incredible. These are our speedy street food tacos. Absolutely wonderful. Makes you feel like you're on holiday.
Hey, thanks so much, boys. Those tacos were absolutely wicked. Fantastic. Love a bit of street food. And I've got to say, after seeing something like that, kind of says to me, I need something sweet. Coffee, cream and booze. It has to be tiramisu. Oh yeah, coffee, cream and booze. It has to be tiramisu. That Italian classic. So easy to do. Sometimes we just have to remind ourselves how easy it is, and more importantly, how delicious it is. Now, first of all, your espresso coffee or good strong coffee. And a little bit of coffee liqueur, okay? And just to show you, I think we're probably going to put about 3 or 4 of those in there, all right? It's nice to have it a little bit boozy, but don't make it too strong, all right? Kills it. All right, now, let's move on. Couple of eggs. First of all, we need to separate our eggs, all right? That means very careful. Well, you don't want to break the egg yolk, so just do it carefully, all right? So we've got an egg yolk in there, egg white in there. Oops, let's get rid of that. The other way, of course, you've seen me do that before. Just put that in my hand and allow that to kind of fall through. Don't open your fingers too much. Just give that a little bit of a wobble. Yeah. Egg yolks and cream. It has to be for me. Ah, lovely. All right, now, egg whites put to one side, and the egg yolks we're going to mix with sugar. All right, pop that in there. I'm using some golden caster sugar. I'm just going to whip those up now till they're nice and pale. There we are. Takes a little while to get to that pale stage, but just persevere with it. Sometimes gets to that stage where you think it's never going to go pale, but you can see that that's really beginning to come along quite beautifully now. And then I'm going to incorporate into that just a little bit of vanilla extract. Then you can increase that. There you go. Beautiful and smooth. No lumps, that's absolutely fine. Let's go in there and whip up those egg whites. Here they are. And you keep beating those until they're whipped up. Lovely. Nice soft peaks. I'll turn the pan, here we are, I'll turn that down a bit. Just keep that going. Look at that, absolutely perfect. Beautiful. You want me to have a test, didn't you? You really want me to have a test, didn't you? So, you can see here, we've got our mascarpone that's been blended in with the sugar and, of course, the egg yolks. I've got some slightly whipped cream there, and what we're going to do is start folding some cream into that mix. There we are. There we are, just blending that in. Now, look at that. Can you see? I want to keep that really nice and light. I don't want to knock the air out of that. Just fold that around. That's it. The idea, when you see something like this, especially the finished tiramisu, kind of takes you back to when you're on holiday. You know, you're probably walking anywhere around Italy, and you go into any of those little tavernas, or you stop off and you go into a posh hotel. It doesn't matter where you are. They all have their style of tiramisu, and it's presented so beautifully, and it tastes magnificent. Hey, let me show you the next stage of this. We've got our coffee liqueur there. We've got our glasses here. And so you're prepared. If everything's prepared, then you're ready to go. All right, then you can take your biscuits here. All right, there you go. You dip it 1, 2 in there like that. Not too long. Then we take that out, and you can pop that into the base of your glass, if you like, just there. All right. And for the other one, drop that in there like that. All right, we start to build. All right, once you've got a base there, then we're putting a little bit of the mascarpone on the top there. Then just using the spoon there to kind of give that a little bit of a shape, control that. In we go again, that one. A touch more there. Pushing that down, can you see that? That's it, using that kind of, bit of control, if you like. All right, same thing here. That's okay. Using your finger just to pop that down there like that. There you go. And then in we go again. All right, then we start to build. And it's quite therapeutic, this. You know, perhaps you've got a little bit of music going on in the background, a little bit of Pavarotti. I want to... Oh, well, I left me biscuit in a bit too long there. I want to eat the tiramisu. I am preparing it for you. Oh, oh lovely. Right, now you can smooth that off or you can leave it to be a little bit chunkier. Totally left up to you. Just use the spoon there just to edge that. Put that right there, building that, beautiful. Ah. That's it. There you go. Let's finish these off, though. I want you to see how lovely these looks. Lovely. And then, the most important thing of all, what's that, Ains, is to chill it in the fridge. Give it 2 or 3 hours, if you can, all right? Of course, you can eat it straight away, but I think the idea of giving it 2 or 3 hours means it sets up, it chills down, and it's absolutely perfect. Got some done here, by the way. Let me show you. Let's take those out. There we are. I'll chill those down. They're lovely. You can see that's kind of set off a little bit more. And I've got some chocky here. That's extra chocolate, which I think is really, really nice. So you've got the tiramisu chocolate. It's almost like a two-tone effort there. OK, that's for you and that's for me. Remember what I said, it's all about the cream, coffee and booze creates a tiramisu. What a wonderful culinary adventure, recapturing the spirit of travel and creating those wonderful, delicious memories. Seafood linguine, crispy parsley and chili calamari, souvlaki with alternative Greek salad, lamb and couscous, street food tacos, and tiramisu. As Nat King Cole once said, roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Da-dee-da-da-da-da-dee-da-da-da.